So let's see how to do the other thing. Here is a very famous story by a priest, right? Priest, or how to say that? So by a Christian, that he wants to say that he got a lot of diamonds when he washing his clothes, her clothes. So if you want to describe all these things, then what you can do is using how to say it? Using animation, yeah, great. Using animations and mimics, just like this. So when I'm going to wash my clothes, then I found 2 diamonds, and they are bright and big. And then after I want to leave it, I think, no, this year is 5, not 2. So I go back and see another 2 also showed here. Wow, that's great. But this year is not 4, so I'm going to check it again. So here is 5 diamonds. So this story is called 5 times less. So has anyone heard this story before? If you heard that, then you will understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's another thing. You want to show some tables on your slide. A table is very, very, has a lot of ways to see a table. You can see here, here, or here. So it is not good to using a table to focus your audience attention. So what you can do is change it into the charts. And you can also using some things to focus what you want to convey, just like this. If you want to focus on the growth or focus on some certain level of things, and you want to say that after a certain year, my grades or my things is getting higher than any standards or something. And if you cannot change the original table, you can also use the vivid visual elements to highlight the point. And also, and the key things is that the things you use has to be very, very different from the original table. And if you cannot do that, you can also using the half transparency shadow to cover all the things you don't want to say and only highlights the thing you want to say. And this is just a combination of 4 things. And about this is some kind of flow chart. So what's the problem with this? What does that mean? Okay, so I think that Howard might understand
biochemistry, right?
So there are something like this. So things, things happen, and it activate A, activate B, and B goes down, C goes up. So something like this. So this kind of flow chart. So things sometimes getting complicated, and how to deal with that? That is, you don't want to make it more complicated than the original thing. So it is already very complicated, so what you can do is to eliminate the unnecessary friends, shadows, and it is also called shadows, but I don't know how to say that. Shadows and shadows. Reflection, okay, reflections. So eliminate the unnecessary reflections. Okay, great. So what you can do is make it like this. I didn't change anything except I changed the way it showed. So let's see the original one. If you see these things, you will get 3 signals. White, black, and white. So 3 signals. And if you change into this, then you will get 2 signals, white and a color. So just only changing the way you showed it, you will eliminate 1/3 of the noise inside your presentation. So by doing this, you can focus on the real presentation. It is not the only way to deal with this, but it is a very fast way to make your presentation much better in a very, very short time. Okay, so here is also the chart you may use. Here is the chart with the size, and here is some explanatory words you want to say. And you can also use the color to replace the I don't know how to say that, to replace the things you add beyond the chalk itself. So just like this. For example, original one is this, and you can change it to this. So the differences between these two is that we eliminate these lines, these unnecessary lines, and also using the color itself to highlight the most important part. So here is the final things I wanted to share. What's the problem with this?
Too many colors.
Okay, too many colors.
Orange and blue can be together.
Orange and blue can be together, so they are different parties. No, they are different parties. Orange and green is.
But they are contrast colors.
So their contrasts are not big enough, or?
No, they are contrast and blue. So they can together.
Okay, so you mean that they are contrast, so they can put together. But things are important should contrast, right?
Yeah, but it's like 人的眼睛看的会不行。
Okay, so you are uncomfortable. This is good, very good intuition. So did you feel uncomfortable when you see this? Okay, so what is the comfortable way to put this? Let me change the question into this. So color is wrong. Okay, we all agree with that. So how to make it more comfortable?
Just white background.
White background. I know white is about almost one, but you cannot not always use white, right?
I think we can just put black words into the brightest region.
Okay, black words into brighter region.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good start. Anything else? Color is wrong. We all agree. But how to make colors right? Yeah, we need to, according to our experiences. But something beyond experiences we can learn with some principles when you are using the color. So here are some principles I would like to suggest you when you are using the color. Okay, so in order to understand this, I would like to introduce about 1 minute about the colors concept. This is called coloring. And coloring has 3 ways to see that. First is hue. The concept of hue is when you have different angles between the two colors. Then when the angle gets bigger, then the two color is even more different than the original one. So you can see the contrast color is different from the original color. So that's right. The blue is very, very different from the orange. So it has very big contrast. So this is the first concept of the color, the hue concept. And then it's the brightness. Brightness means we'll also have high brightness and low brightness. And the higher brightness means that the color add more white inside the color, original color. And the low brightness means that the color add more black inside the original color. And this is the original color. The original color has the brightest effects, and the brighter and the higher brightness and low brightness will make it not that easy to see. So the third thing is about saturation. Saturation cannot be shown in a single coloring, but it can be shown by more than one. So as you can see, this is called low saturation, and this is called high saturation. Is there any differences here? Okay, so can you see this is a lower saturation? Okay, so this is higher saturation, this is lower saturation. Okay, so 3 concepts: hue, brightness, and saturation. Okay, so here is the important part. So when the color is closer to the true color, means the brightness is not too high or too low. When the color has bigger angle than the background's hue, and also when the color has bigger saturation, then it will have stronger signal. So let me say that again. When a color is closer to the true color, a bigger angle to the background, bigger hue angle to the background color, and the bigger saturation, then the signal will stronger. So what you want to do is make stronger signal to the really important thing, and the weak signal to what you are not trying to emphasize. So make the strong signal to the very important thing. So back this question. What you can do, you can see it is exactly the problem to this page is exactly all the unnecessary and not important things as strong color, such like this. You will have very, very strong color to a arrow. But arrow is not that important, right? So the key step instead has not that strong color. So what you can do is change the color something to this. So make the important things a stronger color, then all the things you did here will extremely getting much better. Okay. So